Richie Rich Show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on, man? It's your boy Richie Rich, back on the ones and twos. We're gonna talk some shit today. It's been a rough week. This week has probably been my lowest revenue week. Next to, well, let me think. Yeah, since I've been on the A Fleet side, this has been my lowest week. I think I only grossed like 25 or 26 or something. I mean, it's looking pretty shitty. Like the title of this video, service failure. I got a service failure the other day, and I want to talk about it. And I want to see if you guys agree, and if you think I earned that service failure. Okay. I got a pre-plan picking up out of Michigan, Plainview, Michigan, Plainwell, Michigan, at the meat plant up there. I won't name it, but it was going to, where was it going? It was going to Elkton, Maryland. So from Plainwell, Michigan to Elkton, Maryland is about 700 miles, okay? I just got done delivering the load prior to that, which I delivered in Winterville, Ohio, okay? Winterville, Ohio, the Walmart back there, it's beautiful back there if you take the right way, okay? If you guys go through like Ohio to get to Winterville, like the backwoods, it's a rough drive. But if you stay on the interstate as long as you can and take Route 7 all the way up, it's beautiful. You drive along the river. I think that's the Ohio River. I think that river goes down to Pittsburgh and it goes all the way up. It's beautiful. Real scenic. But anyway, when I was about to deliver my load up there, you know, Prime sends you a pre-plan. And the pre-plan was to pick up for Sunday. Pick up in Plainwell, Michigan. That's about 420 miles away. Okay. So I accepted the load. It paid pretty decent. You know, I don't have a problem going into the Northeast. I do consider Maryland, Delaware, and Northern Virginia to be Northeast. Okay. Those are areas with high amounts of traffic. Well, anyway, I took the load. I dropped off my Ohio load in Winterville at the Walmart. And I beeline, well, let me see. Yeah, beelined up there. It was about 420 mile deadhead. So when I get up there, the load's ready about 6 o'clock at night. I literally show up at 6 o'clock at night, pick up. The delivery for the load was for Tuesday. It didn't have an appointment set. It said Tuesday at 0000. Well, you guys know working for Prime, if it says that, that means that the appointment has not been set. So I figured Sunday to Tuesday, that would give me plenty of time to drive there and get there on time. I can take a break up in Michigan. There's a brand new Love's in front of this meat plant that I'm not naming up in Plainwell, Michigan. It's a Love's, brand new Love's they just built. So I figured I already drove 420 miles today. I start my day on Monday morning. You know, driving from Monday morning to Monday night, and this receiver down in Elkton, Maryland, they only receive at night. For all my years of driving, I only been there at night, and they start receiving at like 8 o'clock at night, and they finish up about 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I figured, hey, if it's on Tuesday, it's gonna be Tuesday night, okay? Well, anyways, I messaged dispatch. I said, hey, make my ETA for the final Tuesday at 8 o'clock at night. Okay, Rich, that's when you be there. Okay. So I go to sleep on Sunday. Okay. I didn't want to drive in the middle of the night. I already drove 420 miles that day. I wake up the next morning to my fleet manager messaging me saying, hey, what is your ETA to the final? I said, it will be Tuesday at 8 o'clock at night. Okay, Rich, okay. 15 minutes later, I get a message on the Qualcomm saying that my appointment was for 8 o'clock at night on Monday. Now, mind you, I am 700 miles away. And so I messaged him. I said, hey, do you mean my appointment's for Tuesday at 8 o'clock, not Monday? And the original appointment on the load said Tuesday. So He messages me back. He says, the customer set the appointment. I said, well, we got a problem because I'm 700 miles away now. Listen, I can drive 700 miles a day. I have done it. I have drove 750 miles when I had a load from California to Florida a day. But that's on I-10. You know what I mean? It's flat down there. Speed limit's 80 miles an hour, and I have an ungoverned truck. So I can keep up. But driving into the Northeast, trying to do 700 miles a day is hard. And I'm going to tell you why. So when I picked up the load, my total weight on my truck was about 78,000 pounds. Now, this became an issue because I told him, I said, listen, first thing he says to me, he says, well, you have a full clock. Yeah, what does that mean? I got a full clock. Doesn't necessarily mean I can drive 700 miles a day on a full clock when I'm weighing 78,000 pounds. Okay? I'm going into the Northeast, and the problem is Pennsylvania, the Appalachian Mountains, the turnpike. Not to mention the traffic, So anyway, he asked me, well, when do you think you can be there? I said, well, if I push it, I can get there by midnight tonight. Midnight on Monday. And so he was like, okay, well, any problems, let us know. So what happened was I drove from 8 o'clock in the morning to about 10 o'clock at night. And the furthest I was able to make it was to Breezewood in Pennsylvania. I-70, I-76 interchange, the Breezewood section. So I got there and I had about 150 miles left. So altogether, I probably drove 620 miles. And I had about 150 miles or so left because it was going to Elkton, Maryland. And so I sat there and I said, I only got like an hour and like 20 minutes left on my clock. Mind you, once you get past a certain point in the Northeast, there's no truck stops. Okay? And I do not like sleeping on the side of the road or off some random ramp. Even though I can. I just don't. I need to be near facilities. I'm an older guy. I got to be near a working bathroom. Not a porta potty, but a working restroom. A shower. I gotta be near this stuff. All my years, I tried to park out in the middle of the road while driving my clock down to 1 minute, and it never worked out good for me because in the middle of the night, I wake up and I gotta go to the bathroom. It's like my body says you gotta go, and I'm not gonna go take a squat in the woods. I just ain't doing it. Okay, I got some pride and dignity with myself. Well, anyway, I parked at Breezewood. Got there about 10 o'clock at night. I messaged Sales and said, listen, I couldn't make it. Okay? Driving through the Appalachian Mountains at 40 miles an hour just wasn't going to do it. And between Breezewood and Elkton, there's even more mountains. So that had been more 40-mile-an-hour driving. Okay? I just couldn't do it. So I messaged my fleet manager at night. He says, okay, we're going to reschedule it. Next morning, I get a message on my Qualcomm saying the appointment is for Tuesday at 8 o'clock, which I originally said, because I knew what I can get there. So I go and I deliver the load. Okay? The next morning, I get a call from my fleet manager. He says, hey, we got a service failure on this load. And I said, a service failure? For what? He says, well, you said you could be there at midnight, but you didn't get there, and you got there the next day. I said, look, if I was driving from Michigan to like Iowa, I probably could do 750 miles. I probably could. But driving into the Northeast, it's hard to do that when you're fully loaded. Okay? You got to wait. Keeping up your speed and through the mountains is impossible. I said, look, not only that, the customer changed the appointment for he wanted same day delivery, basically. Okay? I'm not a team truck. Okay? Even though you may think I am. Okay? I am a solo driver. Well, he was like, well, I'll try to go to bat for you for this one. I said, all right. He said, but it looked like we got a service failure. Personally, service failures, listen, I don't want to be a perfect truck driver out here anyway. A super trucker would have drove his clock down to 1 minute and then went on PC and drove some more. I'm not risking my CDL or my life or my freedom for any load. Okay, that when you get there, they may throw half of it away. Okay, they may look at it and be like, "Hey, this is bad. Let's send it to Goodwill or to the food bank." I'm just not doing that. Okay, you know, trucking is not pizza delivery, and this ain't no goddamn Honda Accord. Okay, I can't just bob and weave out of traffic like I want to. And tell you the truth, if I tell you something, that's what it is. Okay, but that's what happened to me. Now, the story's not over yet. Okay, I got it's more to this because I broke one of my cardinal rules, and my cardinal rule in trucking is do not argue with somebody who is 1,000 miles away from you. Meaning, don't argue with your fleet manager because he's 1,000 miles away. Okay, and I broke that rule, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. So, I delivered that load. I got it empty. Went down to the TA. Went to sleep. Got up about 6 o'clock in the morning. They sent me another pre-plan. This time it was for only 150 miles, and the load only paid like $850. Now I know years ago that load used to pay $1,500 coming out of that Smithfield in Northeast Maryland. But with the market being crappy, they're lowballing us all. Okay, but I taken the load anyway. I rarely turn down freight, so I say, hey, I'll take it. I come to find out there's 3 stops. Okay. McLean Distributions, okay, between Virginia and Maryland. Okay, 3 stops for $850. Okay, I'll take it. It's only going 150 miles. So, mind you, this is about 6 o'clock in the morning. The load didn't pick up until midnight. It said pickup time between 1200 and 1 o'clock in the morning. So I said, shit, I'm up. So I had to stay up to about 2, take a nap, and then get up around 11:30 or so and go pick it up. So that's what I did. Okay, I went and picked the load up around 11:30. I got down to the first drop, which was about 160 miles away in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Okay, when I get there, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. The first appointment was 4 o'clock in the morning. But delivering in the Northeast, you got to be careful where you're driving to, because you make a wrong turn, it's going to be a situation. You make a wrong turn into a parking lot, you make a wrong turn into a wrong street, it's going to be a situation. And I've never been to this particular customer. So I get down there, and it's about 3:55 in the morning, okay? I'm parked outside on the street looking at this customer, trying to figure out, could I turn in this parking lot? Is there going to be... And so ultimately what happened was the parking lot was so pitch black to turn into this customer. And they're on the other side of the facility in this parking lot that's in the residential area. And I looking on Google Maps trying to make sure, hey, I'm making the right decision. So I turn into the customer's parking lot, and I go around the corner, and I park in the back to where they had a couple trucks that had to go check in. Now, this time, it's about 4:01 in the morning. So what I did is, I said, let me send my arrival call. The appointment was for 4 o'clock. I set my arrival call for 4:01. So I got there, got unloaded, went to the next drop. On the way to the next drop was at 9 o'clock in the morning. When I get there, I parked the truck, and I got a message on my Qualcomm saying, hey, Rich, give me a call. I gave him a call, and I said, hey, what's up, buddy? And he says, we have another service failure. Really? What? You sent your arrival call at 4:01, and your appointment was at 4 o'clock. And I snapped. Like I told you, these last couple of weeks, I've been just an ornery old man. Okay? I snapped. I said, why the hell are you riding me like I'm a damn horse? I said, this is ridiculous. It's the middle of the goddamn night. It is pitch black out there. And I'm looking to make sure I am making a right turn. I was there on time. I just didn't send my arrival call until I went around the corner and backed into a place to park. But I was on time. Well, it says here, and we pull up the geofence. I'm like, yeah, you may pull the geofence on the street where I was stopped at, but the entrance was a quarter mile behind the facility. Okay, I was on time. I wanted to make sure I was making the right turn because, hey, if I get stuck, If I go somewhere that's not supposed to be for trucks, I get held responsible, and I got to come out my pocket as owner operator. And I just snapped at him, and before that, we got into a back and forth. I was like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" "Well, what's wrong with you?" is what he says. And I'm like, "I don't understand. I'm not a horse. Why are you riding me? Okay, I'm not a horse. Stop riding me." "Well, I'm losing money on my pocket, man. You know, this is about money." I said, "Well, shit, man. You know, 1 minute I forgot to send the goddamn rival call, and you're riding me." I was like, "All right, man, whatever." I just shut up and I let him finish what he was saying. I got off the phone with him, and I was pissed. I was like, this is what happens when you're in trucking, and you work for like a carrier that is a third party. And what I mean by that is people who get their freight from other people, not a direct carrier. They got to make the customer happy or make their stats look good to sell themselves, and I understand that. And it's just frustrating to have to deal with that, because it's like it can get petty out here. There's a famous saying in trucking: you're only as good as your next load. And that's the truth. As soon as you deliver your one load that could have been a very difficult load for you, you're going to drove through hell and high water to get it there. All right, hurry up and get your next load. Be on time for that. Truck drivers, we work 7 days a week, and for weeks on end. Okay? Every day. We work every day. Because if we don't work every day, especially when you're in the owner-operator or lease purchase realm, you will starve. You will go broke. And these pressures are applied to you on a daily basis. And, I understand the pressures that the fleet managers are having too, because they're firing those dudes left and right. They are. They're cutting down because it's a poor market still. Okay? Fleet managers are disappearing like cotton in the wind. But, I just thought I'd share that with you guys, and I want you guys' opinion. You think I was wrong? If I was, tell me. Or if you think the fleet manager might have been trying to rob me like a stallion. But anyway, man, I'm about to go make a delivery here. This week has sucked. After I delivered those 3 stops in Virginia and Maryland, they tried to give me a load going up to Vermont. And I just told them, I said, "Look, I'm done with the Northeast right now. I am. I'm just done with it. I mean, once, the tolls are too high. And 2, it's the fucking Northeast, especially this time of year. You could be going to sleep and it can look dry as ever, as a desert outside. Wake up, it'd be 4 feet of snow, especially in Vermont. Even though I love the greater Northeast, it's very beautiful up there. I need a break from all that heavy traffic and tolls, and low revenue. So this week sucks in trucking for me. But anyway, just drop a little gem, see if you guys can agree with me or not. It's been on my mind, I thought he might have been riding me a little bit. I guess I'm a big old horse now. Peace, love, happiness. Until next time.